Hey, you folks, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the 11th of July, 2014. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. It's not going to be live today, so my apologies to you. Lots of things going on. But anyway, the whole border crisis, all of that, can be solved by in one simple way. For all the Border Patrol and for all the law enforcement in those areas to stand down. To just stand down. I don't care where they get their orders from. Stand down. They don't need to be violating people's rights. And by the way, it's unconstitutional for any sheriff, any police officer, any law enforcement officer, including Border Patrol, to try to stop protests. Or if another group of people is harassing the protesters, that is against the law, and it is constitutional as far as what the Supreme Court has said, and therefore the police need to move those people away. Now go look it up. It's called Heckler's Veto. Go look it up. It's real simple. So anyway, the border crisis is just, it's not even a border crisis. I don't even want to call it that anymore. It is a complete and utter invasion. It is an invasion of America. It is an invasion of the United States by socialists. Their countries have fallen apart. I mean, you got Guatemalans, Hondurans, El Salvadorians, you've got Mexicans. They're just coming over here because their countries have collapsed. And the only way that this country, in the hands of the New World Order, basically, the only way that this country is ever going to be part of the whole North American Union New World Order Agenda 21, game that they're playing is to collapse the United States of America and make it a socialist country like everybody else. Well, what these morons didn't expect was numerous, in the millions of people standing up and saying, you're not going to do that here. Not in my backyard. Okay? So, it's one of those things that we have to close the border. We have to rebuild, restore America as we know it, as we want it, and then we'll negotiate with other countries to allow other, people to come over here and be citizens of the United States. And that's the way it is. I mean, a lot of people want open borders. Jesse Ventura wants open borders. Let's give them jobs. Let's do this. Well, enough of that bull crap. And just close the damn border and restore the United States and, go from there. The idea of, and a question was asked on Facebook, would immigration be better if we went back to the days of Ellis Island? Could we do that? I would say yes. Modify policies back then to accommodate for today and have one entry point, period. The rest of it, close the damn border, okay? And or you can have 3 entry points. Whatever, But modify it and do it that way. Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth on that, and I'll be back after the break, and we'll get into some other stuff as well, or I will, and I hopefully you'll be listening, but we'll be back. The WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com is the website, and the email address is freeamericaradio@usa.com. Listen to the Wayne S. Pierce Show, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 12 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, on Spreaker.com or the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. Please join me on the Views Expressed Live, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com.
You know, we gotta keep meeting like this.
I've lots of playthings, a dolly or two. We live in the house across the way.
Well, that was new.
Is there any insanity in your family? Ain't it awful?
Attention passengers, this is your captain speaking. Please fasten your seatbelts. The approach will get a little rough.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sharing the truth, one fact at a time. Defending liberty and freedom. Fighting the New World Order. This is the Free America Radio Network. Hey, you folks, how you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I'm yours truly. The 11th of July, 2014. How you doing? Are you good? Free America Radio at USA.com is the email address. The Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com is the website. Thank you very much for joining me today. Lots of things going on, lots of things happening, and, let's put it this way. Your freedoms and liberties are in the crosshairs. Not in mine, they're in the crosshairs of the Washington, D.C., who has brought CISPA back up again to, two things, but I'll sum it up like this. They want to destroy the internet. They want to take down the internet so you won't have free speech. They want to destroy the First Amendment so you won't have free speech. What? It's already going on, right? You have free speech zones in your area, do you not? Where you live? You have areas where the city has determined that you can only have free speech in that area. Yeah. Go to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights prior to 1871. You bring up the Bill of Rights, you shove it in the city's face, and you tell them, I have free speech anywhere I want. And if you don't like that, tough. This is the rule of law. And you hold up the Bill of Rights and the Constitution prior to 1871. Bring that one into your city council meetings. Bring that one into your county board of supervisors meetings that are open to the public because they want, the city, the citizens' input in certain things. And they give you, 2-3 minutes, whatever. That's all you got to do. It's not going to take you but 30 seconds to a minute to explain to them that they are criminals, that they are acting upon they're implementing criminal ideologies within their own political structure. Okay. And that's all you got to do. Now, a lot of people might look at me and say, well, that's too radical. Some people, they'll just handcuff you and walk you out the door. Good. At least I planted the seed in somebody's head. At least I'm not the only one in that room that's fighting for freedom and liberty. What are they going to do, arrest all of us? Yeah, don't go there alone. Take about, 25, 30 people and have them sit down there. And when you say, something to them, do like they did in Otero, New Mexico, about a month ago or whatever it was. The city council was meeting. The citizens were there. The city council wasn't listening to them. So guess what the citizens did? Took over the whole damn meeting. They just took over the whole meeting and forced the council members to leave. One came back to try to negotiate, and they rushed him right out the door. They said, screw you, we're not listening to you anymore. Okay? Most of your cities, and if you go look this up, most of your cities will and are trying to implement Agenda 21 Sustainable Development green projects in your city. How many parks do you need? How many bike paths do you need? How many walking trails do you need? They're trying to get rid of all of those things or implement all of those things to do one thing. They're trying to drive people from the outskirts of the city into the city to put them in little tiny areas to keep them subjugated into their little pseudo kingdom. Go look up micro apartments. Go look that up. Micro apartments. Yeah, they have to guise it in some type of livable situation so that, oh, hey, they make it look so attractive that your eyes will just look at the shiny things and be distracted from the fire that's going on around your city. Okay? I mean, seriously. I mean, it is that bad. It is that bad. And, you know, here, let me just point this out to you right now. I'm typing here, as you can tell, and here it is. Micro apartments. Mountain View, that's in California. East Village, New York. Okay? San Francisco, California. They're all over the place. Hong Kong, Hartford, Connecticut. Okay, they're all over the place. Let me go to this Mountain View one here. From treehugger.com, Mountain View, 269 square foot micro apartment remodel fits family of 3. With debate simmering about the possible health risks of small apartments, a tiny home of under 300 square foot may not seem sufficiently large enough for a family of 3. But in many places in the world, such as Europe and Asia, it's not uncommon to have families living in smaller but efficiently spaced flats. But with additional improvements like transformer design and flexible multi-purpose spaces, small spaces can become more than sufficient. Spanish firm, I don't know the name. I'm going to put this on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page and on Free America Radio Facebook page. I'm going to talk about this on the Views Express today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. The Spanish firm renovated a 25 square meter or 269 square foot apartment in one of Madrid's municipalities, Navacerrada, for a family with a young child, showing that with a few intelligent adjustments, it is possible to live small without sacrificing amenities. The architects decided to insert large full-height timber volumes as a way to subdivide the available space into sleeping and sitting areas. A shower-equipped bathroom is situated near the entrance, tucked behind the main sleeping volume. To reduce clutter, thus giving the appearance of a larger apartment, storage is hidden behind the wooden walls of the sitting volume, which is the room, behind large swinging panels and beneath the bed as well. You have to see these pictures, folks. The sitting area has a wide cushioned bench that has a spectacular view of the mountains. The bench seems like it could double as a sleeping berth for a guest. Always a good thing to have if family friends stay over. An adjustable dining and work table folds down between the sleeping and sitting areas, which can also be tucked up and out of the way whenever it's not needed. The kitchen and its appliances are hidden from view via a large length of white curtain, once again helping to create a more open and generous looking space. Yeah, keeping themselves to a constrained palette of materials and colors and using the flexibility of transformer design and hidden storage, the designers are able to create a spacious haven from what was once a dimly lit apartment blessed with a great view. Okay? And there's a website for the designers as well on this, but it looks really, really nice. It does. It looks really super. But for a family of 3, I mean, come on. Seriously. Whoops. I took the I was going to put that up and didn't because I closed out the tab. So there we go. I'm going to put this up. It's from treehugger.com. I'm going to put this up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page and let you take a look at that. There's just so much that we have to look at, so much that we have to understand, so much that we need to really pay attention to. And that's the thing. We need to pay attention. And I honestly, I don't know. I don't know how people or why people don't want to pay attention to any of this. I don't know why. Go look up, I wanted to say that about the apartments because, well, I mentioned it's an Agenda 21 sustainable development, idea. So let's go look under Agenda 21, shall we? Here it is. And I'm going to put this up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page too. United Nations Sustainable Development. United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the 3rd to the 14th of June, 1992, Agenda 21. That is where not the idea, but that is where the vernacular came from when people talk about Agenda 21 stuff. It's not conspiracy theory anymore, folks. I'm putting this PDF up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, okay? I'm putting this up there so you can go check it out. And it says sustainabledevelopment.un.org. Now, let me give you some of the sections here. Social and economic dimensions, conservation and management of resources for development, strengthening the role of major groups, means of implementation. Okay? And it says here of Agenda 21, Chapter 1, Preamble 1.1, humanity stands at a defining moment in history. We are confronted with a perpetuation of disparities between and within nations, a worsening of poverty, hunger, ill health, and illiteracy, and the continuing deterioration of the ecosystems on which we depend for our well-being. However, integration of environment and development concerns and greater attention to them will lead to the fulfillment of basic needs, improved living standards for all, better protected and managed ecosystems, and a safer, more prosperous future. No nation can achieve this on its own, but together we can in a global partnership for sustainable development. That right there should tell you what their plans are, okay? That right there should tell you what their plans are. Now, let me say this, and I haven't confirmed this yet, but I hear that the caldera in the Yellowstone National Forest is bubbling up. In other words, that is a super massive volcano, okay, that would explode and take half of the United States out and probably kill another 25% on top of that. Okay? Now, a catastrophe like that would require the world's governments to come together and say, what can we do to help? Well, if half of the United States is gone, then you'll have less people to go against any of the criminal policies that the world government would ever lay down. Okay? I don't have any confirmation about the caldera boiling up and magma coming out of the volcano, the caldera there, and I don't know. I mean, I seriously want people to be as safe and as innovative as they can be. I want people to be safe. I want them to be innovative. I want them to be creative. I want them to sustain themselves. That's what I want. I don't want a family being told by a city that zone, that little, square, little 5 foot square foot area over there is your only place for free speech. I don't want the county coming along telling the city that they have to open up certain things for them and all. No. I want people to individually and collectively within their own families be able to sustain themselves and do that. And we can, actually. From Newsmax.com, I'll put this on the Wayne S. Pierce Show too. I talked about the caldera there. Yellowstone caldera conspiracy, volcano to erupt and feds know it. Well, yeah, let me read the article. The supervolcano or caldera sitting under Yellowstone National Park is nearing a cataclysmic eruption, and the government has been silently evacuating local towns in preparation. That's what a bevy of conspiracy-minded bloggers have been claiming anyway. Ever since the 4.8 earthquake that struck the park on March 30th. Now, let me tell you when this was written, if I can find the date. Wednesday, the 7th of May, 2014, by Nick Sanchez. Thank you, Nick, over at Newsmax.com. Ever since the 4.8 earthquake that struck the park on March 30th, the largest earthquake the area has felt since 1980, a number of people have been curious as to whether such an earthquake or other natural phenomenon could set off the volcano, the Epoch Times reported. That curiosity has found its way to places like beforeitsnews.com, a popular anonymous forum where any user can post an article. Posted there are videos, articles, and more that purport to have evidence that the big one is coming, and of course, that we're all doomed. Of particular interest is one video posted on YouTube by a blogger who claims he's just an hour outside the park. In the video, he is in a vehicle listening to a radio, which appears to be broadcasting an emergency warning from the government about fissures opening up on hillsides around the park. Not only is the blogger is likely trying to stoke fear generated by the earthquake, but the user is also trying to connect the caldera, the official name of the supervolcano, to recent landslides in Jackson, where more than 40 homes have been evacuated. The video comes shortly after reports that bison and other park animals were fleeing the area, indicating that they could sense the impending eruption. It also came after more recent reports that the U.S. Geological Service is hiding data about seismic activity in the park. Seriously, folks. Okay. Quote, Washington is aware of this because they are the ones giving direction about this blackout, unquote, says one blogger in a YouTube video. He claims that FEMA is quietly, quote, preparing for millions of refugees, unquote, as well as taking other precautionary steps like moving nuclear missiles out of Texas. Why would a state as far away as Texas be in danger? According to the scientific consensus, the eruption of such a massive volcano could obliterate everything within a 100-mile radius, as well as blanket a huge portion of North America in several inches of ash. The last time the volcano erupted on such a scale was 640,000 years ago, and the eruption killed animals as far away as Nebraska, geological records show. Because the caldera erupts roughly every 700,000 years, many have speculated that a blast is coming. Seismologists on both universities and USGS confirmed that March 30th earthquake that the volcano shows no signs of erupting anytime soon. The only thing that changed, it seems, is the discovery last year of the caldera was 2.5 times larger than previously thought. In total, its magma chamber is now thought to stretch 55 miles and contain 120 to 370 cubic miles of molten lava. Okay, there's that video. Yellowstone earthquake evacuation has started. There's a 1-minute video in that article. I'm going to put this up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page because I want people to see for themselves that what I'm talking about. And this comes from newsmax.com. Let me go look at another article. How's this? And let me grab another article about it. Okay? Now, I don't know about this website. Never have seen it. The site is temporarily unavailable. And that was, as soon as I go find it again, that was earthmountainview.com. And it said that page is not available, blah, blah, blah. From Quora, I don't know. I need to sign into that one. I'm not going to sign into that one, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, my point is this, folks. You have to pay attention to what's going on. You have to pay attention. You have to really get down and ask yourself, are these people serious? You don't have to believe me either. I'm wanting you to go check this stuff out, okay? And if it gets to the point where you're sitting there and you hear 5 different people telling you about one thing in 5 different ways, chances are you need to be the 6th person to go out and see what the truth is for you, okay? And, you know, it just gets down to the point of who you're going to believe. Well, the only person around that you really need to believe is yourself. And you need to go check this stuff out, and you need to go find the truth on your own and help yourself out to the information that's out there. But then again, sift through that information. Some sites, like beforeitsnews.com and all these other ones, all they are is aggregate sites to where you can put up your own articles. You know, the Drudge Report is an aggregate site, but they have links to other websites such as InfoWars, Reuters, RT, you know, stuff like that. Before It's News is an aggregate for writers to come and post their articles. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. And you really have to sift through all of that. And if something catches your eye that doesn't make too much sense, go check it out, because that's the only question you're going to be able to answer truthfully for yourself. Now, if you share that with somebody else, make sure they understand, hey, don't believe me, go out and check this out yourself. Here's the information. That's what I do. I hope that you folks go out and check this stuff out, because it's out there. You know, so what's true, what's not true? Well, what's true for you is true for you as you see it, as you observe it. There it is. I mean, I don't believe half of the people that talk to me. I don't agree. I don't always agree with everything that Glenn Beck, Alex Jones, or Pete Santilli says, or Rush Limbaugh, or Sean Hannity, or any number of those people. I don't. There are some things that they hit right nail on the head. Boom. Yes, they're correct. But some of the other stuff I kind of have to question. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I don't always agree with people. But most of the people that talk to me, I can tell you right now, they're not aware. I'll just leave it at that. Hey, go to thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com. That's the website, or email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. That's freeamericaradio@usa.com. Come join me on the Views Express Live today, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, on the Free America Radio Network on freeamericaradio.us. Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. The reality underneath the honesty. Brian Lang, LiveTruthRadio.com. Have a nice trip. See you next fall. Attending their daughter's wedding in South Africa promised to be a vacation of a lifetime. But first, they had to face the treacherous gauntlet known as modern-day travel. Waiting for them on the other side of the world are an honest-to-goodness safari with amorous lions and elephants with anger issues, a life-affirming visit to a South African school, and an anxious bride and groom standing patiently at the airport with a sign that reads, "What took you so long?" The answers lie within the pages of Please Hold Thumbs, a not-so-round trip to South Africa, a true tale of turbulence and triumph from travel mug Scott Cherney, author of Red Asphalt. Available at Amazon.com in paperback and on the Kindle.
Sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Wayne S. Spear Show right here on the 11th of July, 2014. So, are we gonna, is the world gonna end with this big, no. No, not at all. The other thing I want to mention today is about let's see here. Let me go to Drudge Report, because they usually have a whole bunch of stuff over there as well, a whole bunch of headlines and links and stuff like that. The fact that this border crisis is as big as it is, well, when you think about it, it's as big as it is, and these people have to go somewhere, and there has to be an infrastructure to put these people somewhere. Am I not, are we on the same page? Am I not correct on this? The Obama administration's Border Crisis Plan B. Use the Catholic Church. Ryan Lovelace over at nationalreview.com wrote about this. The federal government reaches out to a California diocese to help shelter illegal immigrants in California. In order to avoid future clashes with the citizens of Marietta, California over attempts to transfer illegal immigrants there, the Obama administration has turned to an unusual bedfellow, the Catholic Church. Deacon Luis Sanchez of the Diocese of San Bernardino tells National Review Online that an immigration and customs enforcement agent approached the diocese on July 2nd, 2014, and, quote, expressed his desire for the church to help in helping these families reach their destination, unquote. Since that time, he says, diocesan officials have spoken on the phone with ICE, and they have held a planning meeting on Monday. John Andrews, the diocese director of communications who attended the planning meetings, tells NRO that the idea is to set up transitional centers where volunteers and representatives from Catholic charities would provide food, medical, and spiritual care for families who have been processed at the Border Patrol station. He says he hopes to help the people pushed out of Marietta and would need to accommodate 140 people arriving every 3 days. Andrews says he expects the center The centers will house mostly mothers and their children for 1 or 2 days, but if there's a situation where a family needs to stay longer than a day or two, he says that placing illegal immigrants with a local family would represent a viable option. I don't know what to say to that. I'll put this up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. I don't know what to say to that except this. The Catholic Church has been known for criminal activity in the past. I'll leave it at that. Okay? I'll leave it right there. But the thing that we have to understand is these people are going to have to go somewhere, because wherever these shelters are going to be set up, they're going to be overrun. They're going to be overrun, what they say, 140 people every 3 days. You know what that is, folks? That's 420 people a week. Okay? That's 420 people a week. That's 1,680 people a month if this continues. That's just that one city. That's that one area where that Catholic Church is sitting. Multiply that by an nth number of continual flow of illegal aliens coming over here. It is now known right out in the open that the Obama administration, number one, doesn't care about you, and number two, wants to collapse this system of government to create a socialistic government so that you and I don't work and are subjugated to a kingdom. Understand that? Okay? So all you socialists out there need to realize one very valuable thing. They're going to chew you up and spit you out as well. If you don't fit into their little mode, their little mold, and you don't go about their things in their mode, you've got a target on your back. And that's one slippery step away from communism. I wish George Washington, John Adams, Ulysses S. Grant, I wish they were all here. You know why? They can rally the troops, they can bring the people together, and we can go kick some major freaking ass. This is our country. Now, that's what the Native Americans are saying in the AIM, the American Indian Movement. Go look at it. They're saying the white people need to leave. What? Excuse me. No. I respect a lot of my American Indian friends, and they understand that AIM, that organization and most of those people in that organization, this is what American Indians are telling me. Those people are stupid. Those people don't know what they're doing. They have absolutely no idea what the end result will be. But they don't care, obviously. I'll be back right after this message. Don't go away. Stick around. I got more to talk about. Government cover-ups, corruption, illegal wars, NSA spying, CIA-funded operations. What more do you need to know about what is happening in the United States of America? The elites are actively pursuing the total collapse of the United States of America by using false flag events to further erode the foundations of this country and to destroy the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America. Take a stand. Defend your liberties and freedoms. FreeAmericaRadio.us. For all you independent artists, musicians, and filmmakers, there is a place for you. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. Go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Hold on tight. Get ready.
Hey folks, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. How are ya? It's the 11th of July, 2014. Lots of things. You know, people ask me, about my opinion on, all kinds of issues. And basically, I tell them, hey, I have opinions, but I also have facts to back it up. I have, different articles and stuff and that I read and that I post and that I, research and all that. But I always get this sense that people want me to just abandon all of my beliefs and abandon all of the things that I've researched and just cater to them. Now, a lot of people will deny that immediately because they know that they got caught with their hand in the intellectual cookie jar. And I caught them. So they know. They know I'm right. They understand that part of it. But I get this sense that they just want me to dump everything that I've ever believed and just, screw it. Just go by life and just do what you need to do and just, work your ass off for next to nothing to die with very little. You know what I mean? That's not how I work, folks. I grew up in a family that told me that if I say anything, I better have something to back it up with. And guess what? That led me on the trail of developing my own style of disseminating information that was factual. Now, again, I don't know it all. And some of the stuff I research and continue to research, I find out is, either I've reached a dead end and I don't have any information, to follow up on, or that I'm completely wrong. And I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. That's called responsibility, and I go from there. But my brief message to those folks out there that, and I'm sure there are people in the same boat that I am. So I'm going to say this about me, but I hope that you can relate to it. I want people to understand that the detractors that I have, the people that say, well, I got facts too, and I believe what I believe. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I give you a virtual high five on that one. But the facts are that if you and I sat down at the same table and we both had the same information with the same headline, chances are you're going to look at me as and picture me as some kind of conspiracy kook. And you're going to try to tear apart all of my information for your own narcissistic understanding of something. Or not even that. Let me reverse that. I don't think it's narcissistic. I think it's selfish. I think it's self-centered. And I think it is very apropos to your level of understanding. So my message, my bottom line, to the point message is this. You're wrong. You always have been and you always will be, because I know exactly the environment you grew up in. I know exactly how things are with you. Not everything, but just how things are, certain elements and methods by which you do things. And I understand why you would want to completely and totally contradict everything that I say. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know this? Why do I say this? What claims do I have? What proof do I have to back it up? Because I was one of you. I was one of you. I was the one sitting there looking at all these truth tellers and saying that you're full of crap. I was there telling these patriots that if we just had this, and this in line, things would be fine, and you guys could just, whatever. I was in your ballpark. I knew the game. I understood the rules until the proverbial rug got pulled out from underneath me, and I face planted into the concrete. You detractors, you skeptics, and there's healthy skepticism, which I admire and also accept, but, excuse me, there is this undying need for all these detractors to come out and to totally and absolutely bash me or anyone like me who has the truth and the facts. And by the way, I'm going to speculate here and say that somewhere in the vicinity of about 60 to 65% of all pro-amnesty, speaking of the border, pro-amnesty, quote-unquote, protesters are paid shills by companies and city officials and government officials to come and promote amnesty, period. Okay? I could be wrong on that, but I don't think so. I could be, but I don't think so. So you're going to have to help me out on that one. They're called paid provocateurs. They're all over the place. They set up, they worked with the government to set up the Tsarnaev brothers, the Boston bombing April 15th of last year. They paid provocateurs all over the place holding up signs. And guess what? And you can find them easy. Very, very easy to find these people. They're the ones in front of the camera. They're the ones in front of the camera. Us, who know the truth and the facts, are behind the scenes peacefully protesting and talking to the officials and handing them the truthful, factual information, while you idiots are out there in front of the camera making it a day to just push your agenda, because that's all it is. But I was one of you at one point. Guess what? You're absolutely and totally 100% and utterly wrong. That's the way it is. If 1 + 1 = 2, that is as simple as it gets. Now, some might say, well, why do you think there is a conspiracy to collapse the United States? Because Canada, ruled by Parliament, which is ruled by the Queen of England, and Mexico with Nieto, is also a socialist pseudo-communist country and collapsed within itself from internal corruption, is sitting here with an empty spot in the middle that the Bilderberg Group, New World Order, puppets and purveyors of hate and division want to fill. And they're going to fill that with another socialist country. Once that happens, Canada, the U.S., and Mexico will be the North American Union, period. By the way, on paper it already is. And the infrastructure already is implementing policies that are of the North American Union. How do I know this? 2005, Baylor University. President Bush, then President Vicente Fox, then Prime Minister Paul Martin. IPP. Go look it up. IPP or SPP, one of the two. It's SPP. Security Partner. I don't know. Let me go look it up. I'm trying to bring this out of memory. I've only got a few minutes here, so let me let me go look for it. Security and Prosperity Partnership of North America. That's what they signed in 2005, March 23rd, in Waco, Texas, at Baylor University. Prime Minister of Canada, Paul Martin, President of Mexico, Vicente Fox, and U.S. President George W. Bush. It was the second of such regional-level agreements involving the United States following a 1997 Partnership for Prosperity and Security in the Caribbean. Since August of 2009, it is no longer an active initiative of any of the original dialogue partners. That is why President Obama and the President of Mexico, Felipe Calderon, and current Prime Minister Stephen Harper in Canada in 2009 or 2010 signed another document relating to the SPP, even though those initiatives were not suspended, they were absorbed into the new one. And I think in 2011 he signed another one. On paper, we are, and by policy, we are the North American Union. No longer the United States of America. By name, in name only, the USA INO, the United States of America in name only, that's what we are. But we are the North American Union. We fall under United Nations Charter, by the way. Go look at it. A lot of people might say, no, I don't see that connection. Really? Then why do we have UN troops on American soil? Why do we have Chinese troops on American soil? Why do we have Mexican troops on American soil? Why is there a Constitution-free zone 100 miles in from every side of the United States? Why? Go look it up. I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I don't care how many spitballs get shot at me or people want to yell at me or anything. I'm done with stupid people. Oh, people aren't stupid. They're just not aware. That makes them stupid. That makes them unintelligent, unaware. That makes them incapable of comprehension of the things that are going on around us today. I don't know how much more. I don't know how much more we can take. Honestly, I don't. I don't know how much more the United States of America is going to be able to sustain its current residents, let alone the influx of illegal aliens coming in to the United States. From every country, not just from Central America or Mexico. I don't know, folks. I really don't know. You've got to take into consideration your own neighborhood. You've got to take into consideration your own family. You've got to take into consideration your own cities and counties and states, because it's going to cost you dearly in the end. You are not going to be able to sustain the coming economic crisis, which we're already in, but you're not going to be able to sustain it. It's not going to work out for you too well. I find it hard to even imagine what the ramifications of open borders is. But I can also look at, I can also look at some of the good that it could provide. But not very much. I'm at the point now where it's close the border, restore and rebuild America, the United States, and tell all the illegal aliens, and I don't care if they've been here for 20 years working, I don't care. You will have to go back to the point of entry and get in the back of the line and do the right thing. I would even go as far as saying repeal the 14th Amendment. Because that's what they're using as an excuse to allow these illegals in here. Well, their children were born here. No. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. You're heartless. You don't want anybody coming to America and making their lives better, man. Yeah, I do. I am pro-immigration. Legal immigration. Okay, legal. And some historians are going to say, well, hell, the Western Europeans came over here and wiped out a whole bunch of Indians, like 1.5 million or 2 million in 10 years. That was illegal. And Native Americans know this. You want people other than black people to harbor ill will against whites? There you go. Like I said, I have Native American friends, American Indian friends, and they're saying that the movement that the Native Americans that they know of that want to take back over their land is just incredibly stupid. But that's some of them I talk to. I don't talk to a bunch of them, but some of them I know say that, and I've heard them say that. But it just comes down to common sense, folks. You don't have... Well, let's put it this way. I'm sure you guys have been to a family reunion, right? Well, how would you like, you and your family of 4, you, your wife, and 2 kids, how would you like to have 15 to 20 members of your own family walk right in your door, start eating, start doing stuff, so whatever it is, just take it over? What would you do? You wouldn't be able to sustain it. Would you, on your income? Would you, or your wife's income? Would you? No. You wouldn't. Why the hell are we allowing this to be a part of the United States of America? We can't sustain this. Have you seen the figures at usdebtclock.org yet? Or recently? Oh, folks, wake your asses up now before you get run over. Jeez. Come join me on the Views Expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Free America Radio Network on freeamericaradio.us. You can also hear a rebroadcast of the show over on livetruthradio.com. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, even if you disagree with me, Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. I will talk more about this on the Views Express live today. And, it's just something you guys got to think about. You've just got to think about it. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Can you sleep at night knowing your rights are being torn away and shredded? Huh? I know I can't sleep at night very well knowing that. Anyway, come join me on the Views Express live today. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Free America Radio Network. Also, go to thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com to check out some of the stuff there as well. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you later.